So Imam Anis, this is your third Ramadan at ELM?
Fourth, actually.
Fourth Ramadan.
Well, it's going to come up to, fourth.
This is going to be your fourth Ramadan. Okay, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of things at ELM. Right? And I think there's this universal problem with especially the youth not utilizing Ramadan properly.
Correct.
Wasting time. What's the craziest thing you've seen in Ramadan?
I remember
keeping it PG, of course.
I remember roughly 2 Ramadans ago, here outside of ELM, we used to have something known as the bazaar, where people were coming and it was a shopping spree, literally. And a lot of youth would come to mingle, to just mess around, really. They weren't really focused about the ibadah in the masjid, especially after 8 rakat. They were gone. And
it's about 8.
Yeah, the 8 and the 20 battle. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
And one Ramadan, we remember, subhanAllah, in the last 10 nights, there was a young boy chasing after one other youth, and he had a machete with him.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. That's a British thing. We just have guns. I mean, we don't do this knife stuff. Knives are for the kitchen. No, it's scary though.
What about you?
But no, yeah, obviously these issues are universal. Whether it's America, whether it's Canada, the Yemeni tea shops have become infamous on social media.
Karak
chais, yeah. But look, if somebody were to say, is it necessarily a bad thing? You know, like the Muslims are around other Muslims. They've prayed their 8. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, let them have fun, brother.
It's true, but I think when you have 1 month throughout the year where you can really redeem yourself and make yourself better than you were, do you want to waste that time on these things? I mean, of course, you can do these things outside of Ramadan. But Ramadan has just become...
Chasing people with machetes?
Not that specifically, but I mean, going for karak chais and chilling, etc. I guess there is some... there is some goodness in it, in the sense that, as you mentioned, the community aspect where people are getting together, the socializing. But Ramadan is much more than just socializing. I think those kind of opportunities are rare to get. As I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he mentioned that if there was one thing that a person would yearn for in the next life, it would be to have another Ramadan.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
So those kind of opportunities don't really come often. So
absolutely. No, I think that's true. I think another point is they're just not used to praying.
True.
Right? They're not used to praying, so that burnout is real. To go from 0 to 8, right? To go from bench pressing 100 pounds to 300 pounds.
True. So then, how do we overcome it then?
Well, this is why it's so important to be consistent. Right, to be realistic, to be consistent, and also before Ramadan. I mean, by the time the viewers are watching this, Ramadan has already begun. But especially throughout the year, to build these habits that will stay with you, that will lead into Ramadan. That way, Ramadan, you're going from 2 rak'ahs or 4 rak'ahs a night to 8, or you're going from 8 to 12, or whatever it may be. So you want that consistency. That Ramadan just can be that extra 10, 15, 20% push, not this 0 to 100, right? But there are other acts of worship. Like, what else can people do besides praying? Because praying, some people enjoy other acts of worship, or other things might be made easier for people. What other easy acts are there for people that you recommend?
I think basic things, of course, connecting with the Book of Allah Azza wa Jal, because the month of Ramadan is the month of the Qur'an. And even as you mentioned, not going from 0 to hero. Before Ramadan, before Ramadan we have the month of Sha'ban. And the month of Sha'ban is known as Shahr al-Qurra, because the Salaf rahimahumullah, they used to spend time in reciting the Qur'an and getting closer to the Book of Allah Azza wa Jal. So again, that's another act of worship that's not as burdensome. Of course, we got the other ones as well, charity, etc. But on the point about going from 0 to 100, as you mentioned, our own Sheikh Abdul Qayyim always uses this example, which is quite funny. I use it every year, so they're probably going to get bored of it, but it's probably the first time you're hearing it.
Probably.
Right. In America or in Canada, you have, when you drive a car, you have automatic, and what's the other one called?
Manual.
Do you guys call it manual?
Yeah.
America, they call it something else.
No, they call it
stick or something. Something like that.
something
Anyways.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so in manual, of course, if you start on fifth gear, what happens? You stall.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so Sheikh says you go from first gear to second gear. Maybe you can skip one gear, you'll get away with it.
Exactly.
But if you go from 1 to 5, you got
your
a problem.
transmission's blown.
Literally.
You're not moving.
You're
not moving in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Right?
A question on that, of course, the last few Ramadans since you graduated, you spent time in Canada. Do you see that, the youth are utilizing Ramadan, or is it the same problem everywhere? Do you think?
No, I think the issues are everywhere. These a lot of people complaining online these days about these suhoor fests. You guys have suhoor fest here?
We have iftar fests.
Iftar fest. Okay, you guys are not there yet. So there's suhoor fest, which again, in essence, suhoor is sunnah, right? But the way that it's carried out is not ideal. You know what I mean. I think we can definitely do better. So there's issues everywhere. Like these, Netflix and the movies and the binge watching. One thing that I like to talk about is, shaitan will, and our own nafs at the end of the day. There's a lot of distractions in Ramadan. I remember even in the Middle East. I don't know if you remember seeing this. Arab movie production is not at the quality of Hollywood, obviously, right?
Of course.
Do you remember there was a time where every Ramadan a series would come out?
I used to come back for Ramadan time.
Okay. So I remember seeing this nice, high quality series would come out every Ramadan. I always wondered, why is this amazing high quality Arab series, Islamic series, coming out in Ramadan specifically, right? It's to keep people busy, perhaps. Allah knows best. Probably su'al dhan, but as Muslims, we should seize these opportunities. Ramadan comes once in a lifetime, and it's we don't know if we're going to reach the next one.
100%.
But alhamdulillah. So
what would your advice be to the youth?
Put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're going to have to make sacrifices. Anything of value in life requires sacrifice. As tempting as it is, think of the bigger picture. Bigger picture, this is a month of transformation. This is a golden opportunity. This is an opportunity that many thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of people who were with us last Ramadan were not here with us this Ramadan. As you mentioned, they if they were given that opportunity to come back, they would seize that opportunity. So I think don't squander any moment. And then another thing is, it's a very American saying, go big or go home, right? I'm sure we all suffer from this, and that is, I'm either going to do 30 days, 20 rak'ahs, or I'm going to do nothing at all, right? There's different acts of worship that you can do, whether it's helping your family, helping your mother with the cooking and the cleaning and whatnot, setting the table, whether it's, sadaqah, whether it is being good to your neighbor, whatever. There's different acts of worship that you can do. And even if you miss the first 7 days of Taraweeh, be there for day 8. Right? If you miss every 3 days, don't think, okay, I lost momentum. Yeah. Next Ramadan, I'll make it worthwhile. No, just even one day.
Yeah.
Right?
I think on that point, I think that's one of the ways that shaitan can manipulate people as well. It's like you've missed one opportunity, it's gone for you. And we've seen now, sometimes, as you mentioned, that burnout comes and people think, okay, after 3 days, okay, I didn't do as well, khalas, leave it till next Ramadan. Absolutely. But I think, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best of endings.
Absolutely. So what do you have for plan for ELM this year that's different from last year?
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. What does that look like?
Let's just say, let's get closer to Allah.
Let's get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.